Just heading out onto Ranger Lake. While I was getting things ready, the wind decided to get a little more aggressive. So I'm crossing a narrower part of it, about a half-mile across. Trying to get myself to the leeward shore where it'll be a little less pushy. But glad to be on the water. The sky is looking a little bit ominous. It is not supposed to rain today, or tomorrow, or the next day. But you know how weather forecasts go. It's nice to be out of the wind on the leeward shore over here. At the launch on Ranger Lake, a couple young guys came in there, and they are heading out on a short journey also, and they are looking to follow some of the route that John Kelly put together on one of his maps. Told him I'm doing about the same thing today, so it's pretty cool. They're from Michigan also, so we talked for a little bit. Emery and Casey were their names. I'm gonna duck in here behind this little rocky outcropping here. Make sure I'm on the right course here. Looks like I'm doing good. And right back out into the wind. I've made it across the larger part of Ranger Lake. Getting into the narrow part of it now. The only thing is it seems the wind is coming right down narrow. You can actually feel it picking up in intensity as I go into it. I am so lucky when it comes to wind. I magically make wind happen. I just remembered that I was going to fix my squeaky seat on this. I was going to put like neoprene washer or something in it to make it stop squeaking, but I forgot all about that. According to the map, the portage starts right up here at this lodge. I don't see the sign yet though. Well, this is as far as this goes. I'm on the portage trail out of the north end of Ranger Lake, and it's not too long of a portage, a little over 200 meters. I had to put my long sleeve shirt back on because the deer flies at the start of the portage were fierce. Pretty well maintained portage. Beautiful little stream coming into Ranger Lake there. That was the portage from Ranger Lake to Same Old Lake. This lake is kind of oriented north to south, so I have to go northbound against the wind. See if we can find a camp. I'm anticipating that the winds will really be ripping through this little narrow spot. That wind. One more cast, and then I'm heading through the narrows into the windy lake. The wind and the waves. Crazy. Crazy weather out here. Out there in the middle, get some serious whitecaps going. Anyway, it looks like I can duck in behind this little peninsula here and maybe take a break and think about what I'm going to do for camp. So here's my situation. I can see rain coming from the clouds. It's like a wall of rain to the north of me, and it's moving this way. I will not make it across the big water to any of the campsites. Back by the narrows, I saw what looked like some kind of a trail up into the woods, and I'm going to take a chance that that might be a campable spot. I'm going to try to make it back to that. I'll have a tailwind. I guess I'm going to see if I can outrun the storm. Mostly just surfing. Off that lake. See the rain coming. It's coming fast. The rain's coming fast. I don't think I'm going to beat it. If I could just get myself situated, get the raincoat on and stuff. Let's see, I saw that trail. Where was it? It wasn't a trail. Oh my God, here it is. Right there. So that front came through, and I could feel just like a mist of rain, but I really didn't get hit with the rain. It was just really strong winds. And then it kind of settled down, and then the bugs came out like crazy. So I was able to I was able to get camp set up right on an old portage trail. And it goes around the narrows there during low water because it's kind of shallow in there, shallow and rocky. But yeah, I walked it, and it just goes from the lake there through here, and it only goes about 100 yards, and it goes back out to the lake. Got the bug shirt on. I was hoping I wouldn't have to deal with bugs, but I guess that's just part of the summertime in Canada. And I have something to drink, something to eat, and maybe then I'll go out and see if I can catch a fish. Well, I'm feeling a whole lot better about my situation now. I've got camp all set up. I've got a little bit of food in my stomach, and I am hydrated, so in a few minutes I think I'm going to head out and see if I can catch a fish. I'm still hungry enough for a fish tonight. Just trying a little bit of trolling out here. The wind is still pretty gusty. I was hoping it'd calm down, make for some peaceful fishing. I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day. So I don't know how long I'm going to fish, but I'll give it a try for a little bit. See if I can pick something up. I tried a few different lures and wasn't able to catch anything. I did a little exploring up in an area that looked like it'd be pretty good for moose. But of course I didn't see any moose. But I think I'm going to give up fishing for the night and just go relax. One of the reasons that I'm making this particular video is my brother Tim and I always would talk about going up to Canada and doing a canoe trip. He went up to Canada a few times without me, and I went to Canada without him, but we never were able to go on a fishing adventure together. And my brother Tim recently died, and so I brought his ashes with me, and this is kind of an opportunity to take him along and think about growing up with him, and you know, some of the fishing trips and hunting trips and stuff that we did go on. And got a bottle here of some of his plum cordial that he made. He made some excellent liquor. I've been trying to think of how I was going to talk about my brother Tim in this video, and I guess right now is as good a time as any. My brother Tim was in his teens when I was born. So when I was a little boy, he would come back from fishing trips or hunting trips, and I always remember seeing the big steelhead fish or the white-tailed deer that he had gotten. So as I got older, then a lot of my early hunting trips and fishing trips were with him as well as with my dad. Oh yeah. Thanks, Tim. He will be missed. Someday I hope to tell him about this trip and how he went along with me on it. So just about ready to get going here this morning. Mosquitoes were fierce, had to get out of the woods and out here on the waterfront. So I got kind of a mess going on out here. I just used my alcohol stove, heated up some oatmeal, and just trying to quick organize my stuff to get it in the canoe. Got my brother Tim's ashes sitting right there. I'm not leaving them there. I just set them there to get them out of the way. Didn't want to end up accidentally breaking it or something. So anyway, woke up to the sound of loons at about 5:30 this morning, and I was watching the shoreline for some moose or deer, or bear, anything. I didn't see anything like that. So I'm going to pack it up, get out on the water while it's still smooth, and hopefully get a few miles in before the winds kick up. I would love to have a day without any strong winds, but we'll see how it goes. Just leaving my emergency camp. Morning starting out nice and calm. It's very humid already. Got a feeling it's going to be a hot day. I'm heading back in through the Narrows and make my way up into the larger part of Seymour Lake. Same old lake. The same old lake I was in yesterday that I turned around and made a run for shelter. I'm trolling a little Clio. My trolling speed is probably too fast. I'm doing 2.3 miles an hour. It's not too bad, but I don't know how deep it's running. This lake's pretty deep. Seems like all these lakes in here are pretty deep. Anyway, hoping to catch a trout, but I'd settle for a smallmouth. There's a couple loons fishing out here in front of the boat. One just to each side of the bow. So I was trying to get some video of those seagulls, and they're sitting out on a rock. Another one in a tree above me. Anyway, I don't think they like somebody pointing a camera at them because they got very aggressive. Started storming me. Whoa! One of them was a dive bomber. Fortunately, it just missed the bow of the canoe. I had a feeling it was gonna decorate me with something disgusting. There comes one above me again. I do not think they like me. A few moments after the seagull incident, I came upon the camp of Casey and Emery, who I had met yesterday, and who had launched their kayaks on Samo Lake. You guys want to be in the video?
Yeah. I tend to cuss like a sailor.
I visited with them for a while, and we talked about canoes, Canadian lakes, and our favorite YouTube creators.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
We even paddled together some, and then they headed for camp, and I went on my way. I went up and checked out the put-in point on this Samo Lake, and looked like a pretty decent road that went to it. That was up on the little northeast finger of the lake, and then some smaller lake where the beaver dam was just above it. And I did see a beaver swimming, but I didn't get a great shot of it. But anyway, I am now making my way back into the main body of Samo Lake. I'm heading to the portage point at the northwest corner of Samo Lake. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to be up to the task of doing that portage. It's 2,300 meters. I'll take a look at it, check it out. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm heading to a campsite that John Kelly used in his video of the Ranger Lake Loop. I'm going to take a look at that camp, and I might decide to just spend the night there. Here's the campsite. Has a big bench. An old, kind of messy fire ring. Beautiful views of the lake. Nice flat area here. Looks like I could hang the hammock up here just fine. Trail going back there, probably to a thunderbox. I believe this is going to be camp for the night. And who can refuse a view like that? I'm happy to say that camp's all set up. It's still fairly early in the day, and I went for a swim, had something to eat, so I'm feeling pretty good about now. Spending the night there, but I'm going to check out the portage point and see what the portage looks like that goes to the next lake. There's another sandy beach. I'm gonna just scuff up on shore there and just see if I see any moose tracks on it. Sand is the rarity around here. Everything's rocky shoreline. Exact opposite of where I come from. I didn't notice any tracks. The beach was only a couple feet wide, so I didn't notice any tracks on it. I did forget that I was trolling though. Great. Oh, here it comes. I have yet to get a bite. Fish on. Doesn't feel very big. Still there. You gotta be kidding me. Unbelievable. Lost it in the last 10 feet. So according to the map, I just have to go straight ahead to the portage. I guess it's deep enough right now to keep moving. Doesn't look very deep. Wonder when the last time this was used. It's one of these famous canoe routes, and you might be the only person that takes it in a year. So that tree line straight in front of the bow, the portage is located in that somewhere. About 6 inches of water and about another 10 inches of gooey stuff. Maybe I can find a route over there to the left. Give it a try, I guess. So I started getting stuck on top of old stumps and logs and stuff that were in that, and I wasn't making any progress. Maybe when the water's high, this is doable. Right now, it's pretty scary. Well, good to be back in the open water again. Well, maybe I didn't catch any fish, but I found a lot of blueberries. So that's something, right? I love wild blueberries. Anybody who's watched my videos before knows that when I strike out fishing, I usually resort to my traditional chicken and rice on tortilla. Just been kind of sitting here taking it easy and studying maps and watching the wildlife. A seagull was sitting out there for the longest time. I think it was hoping I'd leave and leave something behind. It just kept floating out there watching me. It was out quite a ways, but I used the big lens. And then there's been a loon but when I go for the camera, it goes under, and then I never see it come back up. And then about 20 minutes later, I'll see it somewhere else and go for the camera, and it disappears again. So anyway, I've got some distant shots of loons. Hopefully I can get a nice clear one. I'm going to finish the evening off with some black spruce tea. I'm pretty disappointed that I couldn't get to the portage. I don't know how you'd make it through that. I don't know if even wearing waders would work. The ground was just so soft and full of old logs and stumps, and I was probably 100 yards from the tree line where the portage was supposed to be. The only other way I can see to do it would be to go to that northeast corner of Samo Lake where that little boat ramp is, and then you'd have about an additional 1,000 meters on the portage. So that'd make it 33, maybe 3,500 meters to portage. I don't know if I'm up to that. I really was hoping to make it up to Gong Lake, and that was kind of my destination, to get that far and then work my way back down. But I don't know if it'll be happening on this trip. Maybe when water table's high, it's easy to get to that portage, but the way it is right now, it was not. I'm inside the hammock now. I killed a dozen or so that were in here with me. It is just a constant hum out there. I mean, it's like scary. If you were out there, you'd be dead. And they'd suck you dry. I'm gonna try to go to sleep and not think about it. See you in the morning. Other than the mosquitoes, it is a gorgeous morning here at Samo Lake. The sun is making its way into the sky. The mist is burning off. The mosquitoes are still attacking my hands because I don't have them covered. But I am getting my stuff packed up. I'm going to begin my way south, down across Samo Lake, across the portage into Ranger Lake, and back to the Jeep. Just pulling away from camp. The water is dead calm. This is a rarity for me. I never get dead calm water. So about 7:30 in the morning. Didn't make it out quite as soon as I was hoping to. The mosquitoes were a little bit challenging this morning. Good shot. Oh, it's staying deep. It's a trout. Lake trout. Come here, buddy. Beautiful Canadian lake trout. Finally caught dinner. Greetings.
Morning.
I come bearing gifts.
What do you got?
A lake trout?
Really?
Yeah.
You up, Emery? Yeah. That's awkward. No kidding. Where'd you catch this bad boy at?
Oh, just right out in front here.
Right out in front of you?
Yeah.
Or
I
right
just
up?
trolling on my way over. I'll see you guys. Have a good rest of your adventure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You too.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll run into you again somewhere out here.
Maybe.
Probably not here, but somewhere else again.
Yep.
Definitely gonna take your advice on
Black Lake.
Black Lake.
Yep.
Oh,
You
that's
got up yesterday.
beautiful lake. See you guys.
Take
See
care.
ya, man.
I shared that lake trout with my newfound friends, and they very much appreciated that. They haven't successfully caught a lake trout yet, but they are heading out from their adventure today too, and are going to venture on to find one of the big waterfalls in the area. It's a waterfall I've seen before. It's Aubrey Falls. It is a beautiful waterfall. First time I went, I didn't see both tiers of it. I thought that I had seen it, and then I realized later that there was more to it. So I was back there also in the fall, and was able to see the rest of it. So. Beautiful waterfall. If you're ever in the area, check it out. It's worth the stop. I'm pretty sure those guys will be impressed with it. They are loving the Canada that they're seeing. Apparently I ticked the seagulls off because I took their picture. So one of them just tried to dive bomb me again. Gee willikers. These guys are not very friendly. Apparently these little rocky islands are the seagull sanctuary, and if you get near them they start harassing you. So I don't feel like getting seagull poop on me, so I guess I'll get away from their little sacred islands. Uh-oh. Sounds like they're forming another attack. I just missed the bow of my boat with one of them. I officially am naming that island Tim's Island. He would have liked this trip. He would have been really stoked about the lake trout. I'll miss my brother. Dropped off the barrel and the bag and camera box just on my way back to get the canoe. It's a beautiful day. Definitely not my favorite part of canoeing, but every time you portage, it usually means you've gotten back to even a more remote lake. So definitely a necessary evil. Well, as is usual for me, the wind has decided to visit. It's only 10:30 in the morning. It's coming straight out of the south, and that's exactly the heading that I need. So it looks like I get to push the wind. Just getting ready to make the final push across the big part of Ranger Lake. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you liked it. Please feel free to subscribe, like, or comment on any of my videos, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.